Hello guys and welcome to VollGazzRacing Season 12 Division 1 round number 9, and unfortunately Fadley has disconnected from the off, so that means we're all going to have to restart afterwards. But yes, we have 11 riders, 12 maybe 13 today, but Phillip Island's a sprint, so we have 2 races here today, and another one at Valencia to cap off the MotoGP 23 game. And the championship is more or less set in stone for VTR. He is 30 points ahead of this man, Craig, who won last time out in Kota. 32 points behind is Jack, and 34 points behind is Hulikar. And the significance of each one of those 3 riders is the fact that they've had one no score in one round, and that no score could have been the difference between having more of a chance of keeping the title hopes alive than not. So, but it's not impossible. Division 2 proved that. Won't say the champion was, but it's definitely not impossible. But it's 40 points and VTR's got 30 at the worst. So in theory, VTR should come out victorious. But all it takes is a couple of crashes, and things can turn upside down. But anyway, sprint qualifying, only 5 minutes. So you get just 2 laps at this. Yeah, just 2. If you got out the pits quick enough, maybe 3. But I can't see anybody getting 3 laps under their belts. Actually, no, Craig might be able to, because he's quite far. He is quite far. If he can do 2 1 minute, he might just about do it. So here comes Craig across the line to be the first rider to start a lap here as Reps has gone down his out lap into turn 1. Don't miss the bump. Don't hit the bump. Sorry, you want to miss the bump. Now into turn 2. Craig, who won a race on the Prima Pramac Racing Ducati, stating before this race that he's got a lot better pace on the 23 than the 22. So he's a bit frustrated that that Howling is not here so he can jump on, or Amir. So one of the GP23 Ducati places are up for grabs, and Craig is unable to take it. However, he just needs to get on with it, which he is doing. And now he's going to set red sector 2 because there is no lap time set yet. But this has been a very clean lap so far. Lap times. I'm trying to remember here. So, lap times in esports were 23s, low 23s for qualifying. So I would imagine for these guys, high 23s, mid 23. I'll go high 23s, low 24s. Given it's a sprint quali, probably erring on the side of a low 24. Just given people might be a bit cautious and might play the first lap safe. But Craig now rounds the final corner. Up to the line he goes. What lap time is he going to set? To 24.6. I have no idea who's next. We'll go with VTR anyway. Nick Jumping goes second. VTR goes to the top of a 24th lap. Trying to find the next person. Nelson crossed the line and he goes third. Finley's invalidated his lap. Hulikar. Schmoyes has gone fourth. Hulikar now coming up to the line with Aaron just in tow. Hulikar goes fourth. Aaron goes fifth. Reps now. Personal best sector 1. He's yet to set a lap time. So 3 riders have only got 1 lap left to set a lap. And it looks like Craig might have sacrificed his chances of getting another lap in, potentially. We'll have to wait and see, though. As Reps now goes down into MG. I think Craig is going to get another lap at it. VTR is going to be really close. Owen Nelson's gone down at Lukey Heights, and that is his session over. And there's a lot of personal best sectors, so Nelson's front row chances might be over. Schmoyes has gone down. Reps comes across the line, and he jumps to 6th. I'm trying to find different riders to do. Nick jumping across the line. and moves into 5th. Rolge now, he's been missing for the past couple of rounds. Schmoyes ends up 8th. Rolge crosses the line. He jumps to 8th. And trying to find Hulikar. Where's Hulikar? He's coming up to the line now. Does he improve onto the front row? Yes, he does. He moves into 2nd. Aaron Jacko is unable to improve. Finley coming to the line now. And he remains in 10th. And his brother comes across the line now and is 9th. Not what Jack needs. So it's just Reps, Nick jumping, and Craig left to set lap times. Reps has lost time in sector 2. Nick jumping's found time though. And Craig is losing time, so I think it's just up to Nick jumping to try and improve his lap time. As I've just had to kill a fly. Nick jumping's gone down, so it's just Craig now that is left to finish the session. He comes around the final corner, up to the line, he hits the outside curve. It's going to cost him a bit of drive. And that is it. So VTR with his 24th lap will be on pole position ahead of... Sorry. Hulikar in 2nd, Craig in 3rd, Nelson with one of his best qualifying performances of the season in 4th, Nick jumping 5th, Aaron 6th, Rep 7th, Rolge 8th, Jack very disappointing 9th, Schmoyes in 10th, and Finley in 11th, with Fadley rounding out the field in 12th.
Riders have completed their warm-up lap and lined up on the starting grid. In a matter of seconds, the lights will go out and the Phillip Island Grand Prix will begin.
Now, last time we raced here, we had a record amount of red flags. There was one time when no more than 5 riders went down at turn 1. No less, sorry, than 5 riders went down at turn 1. It was just that chaotic due to lag, and people, half of the field were using the ride out device, the other half were not. It was just pure chaos. As I've now got to reset the grid. Right, let's get this final sprint of MotoGP 23 underway at Phillip Island. So the start is probably the most crucial part. Do you use the ride? You either use the ride out device, risk crashing at turn 1 because you have to brake really hard, or you don't use it, get a poorer start, but you get to attack turn 1 a lot better. It is a real big decision to make, as I can't stop yawning. So while we wait for everybody to connect to the lobby and get their setups and things ready, I will quickly go through the championship standings. So VTR stands on 115 points. Craig is on 85. Jack is on 83, and Hulikar is on 81. And Fadley's disconnected again, so for some strange reason, it's Owen Rolls has gone as well. Unfortunately, due to the disconnection, we're going to have to re-go again.
And lined up on the starting grid. In a matter of seconds, the lights will go out and the Phillip Island Grand Prix will begin. While we wait for the cameras to take us to Parc Fermé to meet today's stars, let's take a quick look at the final results of this.
So we were just waiting for Finley to ready up and VTR, and we can get going finally. Right, let's get going.
The riders have completed their warm-up lap and lined up on
So VTR wins this race, he is champion. It's as simple as that. If Craig beats VTR, it goes to the next race. Those are the two simple permutations. I will try and keep you informed of the situation of the championship as we go on. So, the lights are on. And we are finally away. And it looks like Craig has got a good start, and now Rep's having a fantastic start from the middle, the third row. As they go into turn one for the first time, and it's VTR who takes the lead ahead of Craig in second, and everybody's got through turn one. Okay, there's a bit of contact here and there and everywhere. Reps has gone from second to last. VTR really wide at the southern loop, and Craig going up the inside using the inside curb, and is through into the lead of the race. So crucially, Craig leads the sprint, but VTR you go round the outside at Stoners, and now he's going to have the inside line for the Miller hairpin. Into turn four they go. Oh my lord. Nelson's hit the back of Craig. It's a sandwich. Hulicar getting in the mix as well. Hulicar moves into second place, but Nelson doesn't care about the championship fight at all. He's smacking everybody out of the way, and all of a sudden it looks like Nick Jumping is moving into second place. Nelson can't stop hitting everyone. Oh, and Craig's looking up the inside, but this means that VTL's got out in front by 7/10. He's doing what he needs to do. But there's a massive group here, and look at Nelson. It looks like he's playing dodgems at the moment, down into the MG hairpin for the first time in this race. I do not know how any of them have stayed on through there. It's about 4 abreast through the penultimate corner as they head now into the final corner, and it's going to be Hulicar if he could lead this group somehow. Round the final corner they go. There's about 5-6 riders going out of this final corner together down the back straight. I have absolutely no idea who's going to come out on top of into turn one here, and it's going to be Nelson's going to set up the inside of Hulicar. He's going to get crossed up, and that's Aprilia going wide, and it's down. Schmoyes has gone down. There's more contact with everybody going down, and Aaron's at the grass. He's going to hit Craig, and Aaron somehow found his way into fifth spot, going on the grass on the inside of the turn there. And now Nelson's got a fantastic run out of the southern loop into the Stoner corner through turn 3, but Aaron's just in front, down into the hairpin. Nelson's sending it around the outside. Craig looking up the inside, and Craig hits Nelson. They're all hitting each other. And Reps has gone down as well. In the sprint, you only get points from first to 8th place, so drama is unfolding. But out in front, VTR is leading the way. And everything seems to have calmed down. Everyone's now formed into a conga line. It's a lot less chaotic as they now file down into MG. Whoa! And look at the Aprilia of Rolls having a massive snap on the entry, but he's actually getting time on Nelson there somehow. So Jack in 4th place. But BTR is 1.3 seconds ahead of Nick Jumping and is on course to become champion for the 3rd time. I think Nelson's getting really close to the back of Craig. We're just waiting for who's going to be the next person to attack. And oh my god, Nelson's just rode straight through the side of Craig. We have to finally give a warning out because there's so much contact going on. He's just completely rode through him. Oh, and then Nelson's gone through on Aaron as well. Something's gone on with Aaron there. I don't quite. Oh, and he's got. That was real. I don't quite understand what happened there. He's riding fine, and he all of a sudden lost all this time to Nelson, and then they were like trying to let people through or what. And now Finley's up the inside of Aaron, and Aaron's now down to 9th place. Very strange circumstances. Considering Aaron is going to set up the inside of the hay shed of Finley. And he's back inside the points paying positions. Meanwhile, back in the dogfight, Craig and Nelson fighting for 5th place, and it seems like the groups are starting to spread out. Hulicar closing in on Nick jumping potentially, but out in front it is VTR by 1.8 seconds, and he is on course to become champion once again. Riding the Aprilia in all 3 seasons, and looks like when you ride the best bike, your life becomes a lot easier. Owen Nelson and Craig are making contact again, and Craig has gone back through on Nelson. Owen Nelson's hit the grass and he's somehow stayed on, and it looks like he's going to send it into the Miller hairpin, and he's just riding into the side of Craig constantly. I've given a reckless riding warning to Craig on accident. I'm sorry, Craig. Didn't mean to do that. I'm questioning if I accidentally did that to Aaron as well, potentially, but and Nelson being ultra aggressive, just riding into the side of quite a few people, not giving a damn about anybody's championship hopes. As lots of people having lots of moments on the breaks down into MG, just the bike just chopping and changing all over the place, but thankfully no crashes as of yet, as VTR is rounded the final corner and is about to start lap 5, 3 to go for the soon-to-be champion. Rolls is hanging into this battle in front of him here, and it looks like Reps is about to overtake Finley. Essentially, Nelson, Craig, I keep moving every time, but Craig is back in front of Nelson. But Nelson, I think, is going to try and send it up the inside of the Southern Loop, which he has done. But Craig's going to turn it back underneath Nelson at the exit of the Southern Loop. The two make more contact, and Craig is through. He's got the inside line for the Miller hairpin. Nelson's just let the brake off. I'm generally clueless how these two haven't gone down yet. Meanwhile, Jack Berman is right on the back of Hulicar for 3rd place now. Jack is trying to get another, I don't know how many podiums he's got over at the moment, but he's got quite a successive amount of podiums in recent races. Oh, Nick Jumping's gone down. Nick Jumping was doing a fantastic job, but unfortunately has gone down at Lukey Heights, probably hitting the curb at an educated guess, and he is now down to 7th place. Well, Finley's still holding off Reps for now. The Reps up the inside of the KTM rider MG, but he just can't quite get through. Let's see what Nelson and Craig are up to down the home straight. Nelson's in the slipstream. He's gaining and gaining and gaining, but he's not close enough to make any form of attack. But I'm sensing he's going to try something into the Southern Loop. No, he's not. He's going to try and turn it. Still turning. He's riding right on his rear tyre, and he's ended up picking up a long lap penalty. So Nelson has got a long lap penalty, so that means Craig isn't going to have to worry about Nelson anymore in terms of taking away his position anyway. Nelson forcing his way underneath Craig and leaving him no room at all on exit, but Craig's looking back up the inside of Nelson and barged his way back past at Siberia and has moved back into 4th place. There's absolutely no love lost here between these two. Through turn 8, heading towards turn 9. Ooh, Nelson all over the curb. And now down into MG. So far, this might be the first race that Nelson's gone without crashing this season. Oh, and Aaron's gone down at MG, and that now promotes Reps into 8th place. And I sense something dramatic's going to go on here between these two. It's that VTR is already at turn 1 for the final time. Fantastic performance by the soon-to-be champion as Nelson blasts past the Ducati into turn 1. But he's going to run wide, and Craig retakes the place and moves back into 4th. As he now goes to the Southern Loop. Oh, Nelson hits the back of Craig. He doesn't want to be doing that, and he's unable to make any form of attack yet. And Schmoyes has gone down now, and that's going to let Aaron move back inside the top 10, but no points for 10. Points are only given to the top 8. As Nelson's looking up the inside of Craig at Stoners, and that's just not possible. And he's going to send it to Millers again. He's just completely missed his braking marker and sent himself and Craig really wide. Really overly aggressive by Nelson there. Paul Craig hasn't. I don't think he's had a chance to breathe at any lap. To go into Lucky Heights and oh my word! I think that I want to say that was lag. There was some kind of spike there, but I don't know. But anyway, VTR he rounds the final corner of turn 12, and for the third time in VollGass, he will be Division 1 champion. Oh my! Oh, doing it in style, kind of. Hulicar moves into second place in the takes second place and I think he's gonna be tied for second in the championship. Jack Berman's third. Nelson's he won't be fourth. Nick Rolls will be fourth. Nick Jumping's fifth. Craig will be in sixth. Reps I don't quite know the order because Nelson never took his long lap penalty, so. So VTR is your champion and your winner. Hulicar second, Jack Berman in third. Rolls returns to fourth place. Nick Jumping's fifth. Craig is sixth. Reps is seventh. Finley taking the final point spot in eighth. Aaron is ninth. Nelson is 10th. And Schmoys rounds out the field in 11th. And we will now go on to the main race at Phillip Island. Right, change the thing to 35 and let's get going for Phillip Island, the main race. So we're waiting for VTR. Who else? That's just VTR. Right, let's get going for the penultimate race of the season.
The riders have completed their warm-up lap and lined up on the starting grid. In a matter of seconds, the lights will go out and the Phillip Island Grand Prix will begin.
So we go different grid order. This could cause problems when it comes to the start, but the visual start was actually okay. So here we go. Lights are on, roll juice and ride out device, hard tyres for the American, and we are off. And VTR, for I think the first time this season, is actually going to get the best launch, and Rolge also getting a good launch. It moves into second as they apply the brakes for the first time, and it is going. Oh, I think Rolge's ride device has got stuck, and Reps moves into the lead. I think VTR's ride device is stuck as well. So both are really suffering with stuck ride heights, and I've lost quite a few places, but it is Hulicar who leads ahead of Reps in second. Craig is in third, nowhere with Nelson nowhere in sight, thankfully for him. And Craig moves into second. Jack Berman forces his way underneath VTR. Oh my lord. Oh, Reps has gone down. Getting caught up. And there's, oh, who's that? That's Nelson down as well. But it is Craig who now leads ahead of Hulicar in second. VTR going up the inside. I can't quite get him. They go VTR up the inside at Siberia as Hulicar and Craig make contact. The exit of turn 6 into turn 7 and now into turn 8. Oh, Craig's going to run wide and Hulicar's going to get better line and run through turn 9. And Reps has gone. Oh, and Finley's gone down as well. As they go into MG for the first time. So we've got 8 riders who have managed to stay on the bike. Oh, and Hulicar cuts across the nose of VTR, and VTR is unable to move into second place. VTR running the hard front, medium rear compared to the hard front, hard rear, I think, from Hulicar. And now VTR hits the curb at the outside of the corner. Jack, look at that, blasting past the Aprilia down into turn 1. VTR decided, oh, and Hulicar's gone down, making contact with Craig. I don't quite understand how that's managed to happen. But now 3 championship protagonists, well, they're not really protagonists, but it's a battle for second place in the championship. I'm not quite sure who that will go to. I haven't quite figured out the points yet. I want to say it'd be Hulicar at the moment, but Hulicar is out of the question, so it might be Craig again. It might be Craig versus Jack for second place here, who it's been between pretty much every single season, apart from, well, being best of the rest from VTR after VTR. Oh, and Jack's looking up the inside at Siberia, and he's forcing his way underneath. And the Grassini Ducati is just about ahead of the Aprilia, but VTR's got the inside line for the Hayshed. And Jack's giving him all the room in the world as he now changed direction for turn 9. And Jack has managed to hold on to it, or as he is. The VTR's got the inside line. Aaron's gone down, making contact with Rolge and Nick jumping. Oh my good lord, as VTR uses all the inside curb at MG to go past Jack Berman, but Jack Berman's got the inside line for the final 2 corners with them being left-handers, and Jack's going to just, no, VTR's holding it round the outside. It's now a drag down the home straight, heading towards turn 1, and VTR's got the slipstream of Craig to aid him, but now Jack's back in the slipstream of VTR. As head towards turn 1, Jack brakes really early, a bit conservative, and VTR is now finally settled into second place and sets his sights on Craig to move back into the lead of the race. With the Aprilias having a great showing in second, 4th, 5th and 6th. So 4 Aprilias inside the top 6. It's not very often we've heard that this season. And the VTR going a bit wide into the Miller hairpin. Craig going wide as well. Nick jumping going wide as well. So quite a few riders going wide, and Rolge is now into 4th place, who is Rolge with the fastest lap of the race as well. With these guys battling, Rolge is slowly approaching these guys as Craig made a small mistake through Siberia. Now VTR is round the back of him. VTR just trying to find a way through, and imagine the safest place would be the start-finish straight. But VTR looking to get round the outside at Lucky Heights in towards MG. But I think VTR just needs to wait for the straight. It's a lot safer, a lot easier. You can just use slipstream. Unless he wants to try and make a point of trying to overtake around the outside like he did to Jack a lap ago. But this time he won't have the slipstream with somebody in front of him to help him. So he pulls to the left-hand side of Craig, trying to outrun him down the straight, but he's not going to be able to. He is now. He's got a little bit of slipstream. He's got the inside line for turn 1, but Craig cuts his nose off. And And Craig remains in the lead for now, but VTL's got the inside line for the southern loop. He's going to use the inside curve for the extra grip, and he's going to use Craig as a berm as well to try and maintain the inside line. It's all about the exit speed, and Craig's just about got enough exit speed out the corner, getting the bike sat up first. But he's got a wider line through Stoners, as Rolls and Nick Jumping have collided, and Nick Jumping's ended up getting a long lap penalty. Craig's hit the grass, and he's gone down. He's hit VTL. VTL's gone wide, and Jack Berman is now into the lead of the race. And that now promotes Rolls into the podium places with Nick Jumping in fourth. Oh, Nick Jumping's going up the inside of Rolls and moves into the podium places, even though he's got a long lap penalty. So Jack Berman, who was just a spectator of that collision, Craig just taking too much inside, taking the Miller hairpin, too tight, went down, and is now in 6th place. So Jack Berman is on course to finish 2nd place in the championship as they go into MG. Hooley Car's down in 9th. So it's a Berman sandwich, but Jack Berman in 1st, Finley down in 10th. So not ideal, but Jack at the moment is out in front, but VTR is the fastest rider on track. No, he's not. Jack Berman, he's got the first lap of fresh air, and he sets the fastest lap of the race. Oh, but he's run a bit hot into turn 1 as he now head into turn 2. And Jack just running quite a bit wide through the southern loop, and VTR's round his back wheel now. And I can see VTR going to try and set up. He's going through Stoners a lot faster into the Miller hairpin. He's going to turn it round the out. He's going to go round the outside again, but he's gone onto the paint again. This time he's a bit. Oh, Nick Jumping's gone on the paint and gone down, trying to take a long lap penalty, I think. And so Jack Berman is back in front. Rolls is back into the podium place as a 3rd, and Craig is in 5th. Nelson's in 6th, and Craig and Nelson could be about to restart their battle from the sprint, which ended horribly at this corner right here at turn 9. So the podium is still on for quite a number of riders here. It's still on for Jack Berman and VTL making contact. VTL maybe trying to go around outside of Jack again at turn 11 and 12. VTL's going to turn it underneath the GP22 Ducati, and he's done it. And now Jack's going to get the slipstream of the Aprilia, and he can now blast past him again. Oh no, VTL's actually got a big enough gap, I think. And VTL is now finally set free into the lead of the race. It's taken him quite a while to do so. Aaron and Hoolicar are beginning to battle for 8th place as Nelson and Schmoyes are now fighting for 5th. Oh, and now Nelson and Craig. Nelson's looking up the inside of Craig. The two make contact again. And I can see something going on. And Craig sends it up the inside at Stoners, forcing Nelson really wide. Now Nelson's going to completely send up the inside of Craig into the Miller hairpin. These two, I think the two just seem red when they see each other. They haven't been in sight, and they just can't help but make contact with each other. But Nelson is into 4th place, and Rhodes looking for his first podium in quite a while. And Craig just sends it up the inside of Nelson into the hay shed. Beautiful move there from the Mooney VR46 Ducati rider through Lucky Heights. And I will not be surprised if Nelson just sends it down into MG. He's got the inside line, but Craig is just strong enough on the brakes. But Craig's actually ran wide in the process, and Nelson's round his back wheel, but he makes contact and loses a tiny bit of time. But he's got the inside line. He's still trying to find a way past Craig. That's the 2 RNF Aprilias behind us. This will be the last showing of RNF Aprilias, since we're going to MotoGP 24 for next season. And here comes Nelson all round the outside curb, and now in the slipstream. He is all over the place, but he blasts past Craig down the straight and moves back into 4th place. Into turn 1 they go. I'm expecting Craig to give him to barge his way through. Yeah, he is. He's barged his way through. And now Schmoyes is looking for a way past as well. Nick Jumping going up the inside. And oh my lord, and Nick Jumping, I think, it's ran wide onto the grass. So that's Nick Jumping out of the equation now, and he's got a long lap to take anyway. Through Stoners, and now here comes Nelson. He's going to send it up the inside. He's just going to up the inside. The two make contact again. Roll just ran really wide. And now this is a battle for podium places. But Nelson and Craig, they are just magnets towards each other. Just cannot stop making contact. And ultimately, one of them is, or both of them, are going to end up on the floor. It's just a question of who and when, really. Round turn 9. VTR's got this race in the bag, 1.5 seconds in front of Jack. But Roll's looking for his first podium in quite a while. The American's just doing. I don't think he's the fastest out of this group, but he's just been the most consistent. Well, he's not being consistent. He's been making mistakes all over the place, but he's just been the most clean. He's the only one that stayed on. As we start the penultimate lap of this race, who's going to win the fight for the podium? As you can see, Craig is starting to close in on the Aprilia. But Nelson is just there in the background, so Nelson's going to... Craig is probably in the worst place because he's got to try and attack Rolls, but he's got to defend from Nelson at the same time. And Nelson's going up the inside of the southern loop with Craig running wide. And the two make contact. They just can't help but make contact. Even when it's like a really simple move of somebody going wide, they cut back and they just make contact. And now through Stoners and in towards the Honda hairpin or Miller hairpin. And Craig is now going to send up the inside of Nelson. And he's just completely pushed him out of the way. Just like Nelson has done in the past. There's no love lost between these two at all. They're just sending it on each other. They get the opportunity and they just send it. And I'm going to call it now. Whoever is leading into that corner and into the Miller hairpin next time round, they're the one who's going on the floor. I'm convinced. Never mind. So, Craig was a victim of lag at turn 9 in the sprint. Now it looks like Nelson's been a victim of lag at turn 9 in this race. So I guess we're not going to have to worry about who's going to get taken out the Miller hairpin on the final lap, because the lag has solved it for us in a bad way. As VTR starts the final lap of the race, heading down towards turn 1, 3.7 seconds ahead of Jack Berman, who is set to move into second place in the championship. Rolls is in third. Can he hold off Craig to take a podium in the final round of MotoGP 23 into turn 2? So from Craig, I'm expecting a fairly clean pass if it's going to come, because it's not Nelson, it is Rolls. Out of turn 2 into turn 3. Where is Craig going to look for the move? I don't think he's close enough to send it into the Miller hairpin because it's not Nelson. Oh, but Rolls just ran wide. But he's going to get a better exit because of it. Into Siberia, Craig runs really wide. Court time is running up for Craig. It might have to be a run to the line. Oh, but Rolls made a bit of a mistake for the hay shed. Through Lucky Heights are both running on the inside curve, risking hitting the bump. And now into MG. Craig goes up the inside, the two make contact and Craig is through. No, he's not. Rolls holds on. Round turn 12. Who's it going to be? As they head towards the final corner, VTR crosses the line to take victory. Jack is going to take second, but who's going to take third? It's going to be a run to the line. Craig's got the run. And it's going to be Craig who's going to... I think Craig has nicked it from Roach there. Schmoyes is 5th, Hulicar is 6th, Nick Jumping is 7th, Nelson will take 8th, Aaron is 9th, and Finley rounds out the field in 10th. We'll have to wait and see who won that battle. It says Craig by 8 thousandths.
While we wait for the cameras to take us to Park Ferme,
and they tied.
Let's take a quick look at the final results of this race.
They tied, so usually it goes by we'll have to confer that. Usually it goes off fastest lap. We'll discuss that. But VTR takes victory ahead of Jack Berman in second. Craig and Rolls joining themselves in third. Schmoyes is 5th. Hulicar 6th. Nelson 7th. Aaron 8th. Nick Jumping 9th. And Finley running at the top 10 with somebody disconnecting. I can't think it was. Somebody left. I can't think who it even is, but somebody left. Trying to think who it is, but I can't. Our reps. So by my reckoning, I'm just going to work it out for the guys. Right, so just given the situation for P2, and we can now get going for the final race of the season at Valencia. So Jack is on 101 points, Craig is on 98 points, and Hulicar's on 95 points. So it's going to be interesting to see who wins this one. So Aaron is going to be the first rider out on track of this final qualifying session on MotoGP 23. Valencia is usually a track that half a second can cover a multitude of riders, so we'll have to see how this goes. But the focus is going to be on Jack, Craig, and Hulicar, who will finish second place in the championship. 6 points separate all three of them. So Valencia, I'm trying to remember lap times. 20, maybe 20, I think 25 is definitely possible. Expecting some form of 25 in this session. Don't know what kind though. So Aaron starts the first lap of this session out the final corner over the little crest and across the line, and to start the stopwatch into turn 1. He's very close. He's very far from the pit entry. Maybe that's just for track limits reasons. And he's done the first corner quite nicely, heading towards the second corner. Back going sideways all over the place, running a lot of inside curve. Now it's not the greatest of runs through the second corner that I've ever seen. Into turn 3 and now into turn 4. Through turn 5 and he hits the grass and he's down. Schmoy's now into turn 5 and he has made it through. Into turn 6. Heading in towards the third sector now, crossing the checkpoint into turn into 7 and 8. And Aaron getting out of the way of everybody. VTR. He's going to do mid 25, I'm going to say. Around turn 11. Heading up to turn 12 into the final sector. Hard on the brake into the downhill, turn 14. Using an inside curve at the exit there. Up to the line. What lap time is Schmoy's going to do in VTR? 26.8. 25.5 for VTR. And here comes Finley, who I would imagine is going to go third at worst, sorry. He does go third. Jack Berman, where is he? He's coming out the final corner. Looks like he's going to go into the box, which he is. So not a great opening lap for Jack. And Hulikar nicely does the last corner, and I suspect he's going to go into second place. So he goes up to the line to set maybe a high 25. Yep. And Dick jumping out of the way of Rolge. Rolge, who were tied for third place in Phillip Island. We're going to have to talk about how that is given and things like that, because it's saying that Craig got it, but Rolge was the faster rider. Oh, and Schmoy's was improving, but he's gone down in the final sector at turn 12. Rolge and Finley now to turn 12, and they get through it okay. And into the final corner. Rolge just overshot it just ever so slightly. And now up to the line. And Rolge goes 5th. Hulikar improving. Hulikar with the softer rubber, able to go for 2 laps here. As Rolge has gone down at turn 2. Hulikar now up to the line. He's going to be able to get, I think, just another run at it. As he does improve and sets a 25.8, sorry. And Craig now starts his qualifying lap. He's one of 3 riders yet to set a lap time. With Nelson behind, who is also one to not set a lap time. Craig into turn 1, nicely done. A bit wide on exit, but I can't tell if that's just how it looked. Or it actually was wide into turn 2. Just wait for the first sector point to pop up, which is about now. And it's a personal best. Now into turn 4. Running inside curb, and now we're heading towards turn 5. And now into turn 6. It's in the next checkpoint, which is another personal best into 7, now into 8. Bike squirming. He's run wide. He's going to cut it back. Nelson has invalidated in the second sector. Roger's gone down for a second time on that lap. He's gone down for a third time. I don't know if he's stuck in the pit lane or what, but I think he's trying to box. As Craig now into turn 12 and now into turn 13. And into the final corners that Aaron has gone down at the first corner, so he's going to have some work to do. And Craig up to the line. Does this put him onto the front row of the grid? Yes, it does. Jack Berman's invalidated his laps, whereas Jack, he is boxing again. And Nelson's going for a second time, so he saved his tyres, saved his fuel. Let's see what the most aggressive rider from Phillip Island can do. Into turn 2, you see the back. I'm saying what he's just done here is just checked videos and markers from last year and just riding as close as he can to that. I'm guessing that's his theory. He's running a lot of entry speed. He's been extremely aggressive on the brakes. Does look to have been the smoothest of laps yet, and I don't honestly know where he's going to put him currently. And VTR red sector 1, so it looks like it might be a shootout between VTR and Hulicar for the race at the moment. Craig invalidating his lap. Schmoyes is on an improvement. We'll go to Schmoyes, as he's just coming up to the line now. He improved by 1,000th of a second. And I think Nelson's just gone down, he has. So Nelson's got one last go at it. As Findlay, I think, just made a bit of a mistake there, so I can't find him on it. There he is. Yeah, Findlay's just made a bit of a mistake through the chicane. Can he jump Schmoyes? Been looking for his best dry qualifying of the season with this many people in it. Here he comes across the line. And he just misses out on 4th, but he's still got one more go at it as VTR now is approaching the final corner. He's round turn 13. And now into 14. Up to the line he goes. It's a 25.5. Nick Jumping's looking to finally do a lap without crashing. Up to the line. And Nick Jumping moves into 7th. And Aaron also looking to do his first lap without crashing. Into the final corner. He's run a bit hot. He's cut it back nicely. And here he goes up to the line. And he jumps himself up to 6th place right at the end. So we got Jack Berman who's left. And Nick Jumping to set good lap times. The top 3 are set. Aaron's still got another go at it, to be fair, but I can't see him having the tyre to keep going. So Jack leaving it to the very last lap. He needs to get on that front row. His two title contenders for 2nd place are on the front row. He needs to join him on that front row, or at least be 4th. He cannot afford to be far away. I mean, starting from the back isn't the worst thing, because it does mean you can generally just avoid all the chaos that will happen in the first sector, but ideally you do want to be as far up the front as possible. Round the final corner for Jack. Where is this lap time going to put him? Across the line. And he moves into 4th. He is 1/10. He's over a 10th off Craig's lap time. And Aaron is the last rider. And he's taking a long lap. I don't know if he's trying to get lap invalid or what. Or he's just practicing the long lap in case he has one.
pole position is confirmed with the
So we have VTR on pole for the final time this season on this game. Hulicar second, Craig third, Jack fourth, Schmoyes fifth, Finley sixth, Aaron seventh, Roll eighth, Nick jumping ninth, and Nelson rounds out the top 10. So everybody's readied up for the final race of this game of season 12 in Division 1. Hopefully it's a good race and isn't chaotic, as it's a lot cloudier than qualifying. I don't know if that'll make a difference. But here we go. And we are off. And VTR gets another good start. So it's taking VTR all game to get a good start to work them out. But Hulicar can set it up the inside into turn 1. And Hulicar takes the lead of the race, and they all run quite wide. Multiple people running wide, as the helicopter cam is not very good at this point of the circuit. But Hulicar leads. VTR was second, but it is now Jack Berman. Oh, and Nick Jumping's managed. Nick Jumping's gone down. As they now go into turn 4. And oh my god, Schmoyes has just completely barged Jack Berman off the track. Big mistake there by Schmoyes. I don't know what he was thinking there. That might have cost Jack the chance of second in the championship. And so Hulicar leads with Craig in second. So Hulicar and Craig will be tied on points if it stays like this. Oh, and Finley's gone down. And Aaron's gone down as well at turn 8. And Nelson is in for... Oh, and VTR's looking up the inside of Nelson. Oh, and VTR's gone down. And he now joins Jack with him. Is he going to let Jack through? No, he's going to try and fight him. But Jack's got through, and VTR's now forced to concede to 7th. VTR looking up the inside of Jack, and Jack's got hit the outside curve, and he's spun up the rear, and VTR moves back into 6th place, but Jack's now got the slipstream. He's going to pull out to the left hand side. He's going to outbreak the new the reigning champion, and he moves back into 6th place. But this fight is not going to help them. It's only going to aid. I would say it's going to aid Craig. He's got Nelson behind him. Nelson's probably just bullied his way past Craig, and now this means that Hulicar will retake second will take second place in the championship. Should it stay like this? Jack's got to stay within 6 points, and to do that, you have to finish on the podium if Hulicar's going to win this race. So out of turn 6, and Nelson's feeling it here. Nelson, he has not won a race on this game. If he does not win this race, it'll be the first time he's gone without a MotoGP game, without taking a victory. He has not won since MotoGP 22 in, I want to say, season 9. If that. So it's a big thing for Nelson. Craig going to send up the inside, and Nelson into turn 12 and makes it stick. And Craig now just regains his hold at his stake for second in the championship, as Jack is losing touch with VTR now. to go down the straight to start lap number 3 of 9. Hulicar is just doing what needs to be done. As VTR has been lagged off, and so VTR's championship is not going to end in a good way. He's just at the fastest lap. He's been lagged off by somebody. I don't quite know who it is who just lagged there. Somebody lagged and smacked into VTR. What it does do is give Jack a free position. So Jack is now into 6th. He'll gain 5 points compared to Hulicar's 15, so that's 10 points. So that means Hulicar will jump in front of so will Craig. So it's all about the points at the moment. And Hulicar, I've got to say, from qualifying, he is probably going to be the second strongest rider behind VTR. And Craig's run really wide through turn 8, and Nelson's joined him. And now Rolge and Smoyes are battling now for 4th place. Rolge looking up the inside of his fellow Aprilia rider, and the American moves into 4th place. You see Jack there in the background, 2.2 seconds behind. Jack needs to move into 4th place. But 4th place won't be enough for 2nd. As they head now into the final corner to end the first third of this race, and Smoyes runs really wide. And he doesn't actually get it cut back nicely. But let's see, cross the line, anyone sets new fastest laps? No, so VTR holds on to his fastest lap. Let's see what Nelson's strategy is. Is it to attack Craig, or is it to follow Craig in hopes that Craig can catch? Oh, no, rolled is at the green and gone down, and is now down in 6th. Will he drop behind his teammate? Yes, he will. Drop down to 7th. Will he drop behind Finley? Finley's ran off the track maybe to avoid Rolge, or just ran wide in general. And Rolge is now down to 8th, so that gives Jack another free position. And is now into 5th. The gap at the front is staying stagnant, about 7 to 8 tenths per second. I sense it's a mistake of some sort, so they have to come from Hulicar to give Craig that little bit of a chance. But we know Craig, if he can get into a consistent rhythm, he will sure be able to have the ability to close in on Hulicar. But Hulicar at home in Spain, it's a track he would be wanting to win, wants to go out on a high. He's won. He won in Mugello. He won in Portimao, and he could be. And if he does win, and obviously him and Craig tie, he will win on countback. So Hulicar's got to do what he's still doing to snatch 2nd place right at the end. He held it for a little bit. He held it for a while in the mid part of the season. Then he lost it to Craig and Jack, but he's now fighting back for it, and he's extending his lead by about 3 tenths per second on this past lap. So Hulicar's doing the job that needs to be done. Jack Berman is closing in on Smoyes, but 4th place is not going to be enough for Jack, and he's going to lose the points to Craig as well. Well, Nelson just breaking himself ever so slightly. Well, not obviously, like quite a lot, to be fair, into turn 2. But Nelson looking to take his first podium of the season. He hasn't taken a podium. I can't remember the last time he was on the box. Been quite a long time. But Craig, he's just starting to fall back now from Hulicar. We're getting to the halfway point of the race. The front tyre is beginning to give up. And Hulicar is just clicking those laps together. And is just pulling out the gaps now. 3 tenths in the opening 2 sectors. And Craig is just struggling to hold on. He's just unable to make that GP22 work compared to the 23. Meanwhile, Jack is now within a second of Smoyes, so I'm expecting a move coming in the next lap or so by Jack for 4th place. Down into the final corner for the 5th time. 4 laps remain. Can Hulicar snatch 2nd place? Right at the end. 1.4 seconds to gap. As Jack Berman is now all over the back of Smoyes. He'll be wanting revenge for wiping him out, but forcing him off the track at the start of the race when Jack was in a leading position. He was in a position to take home 2nd in the championship, and Smoyes just bashed him out of the way. With quite a reckless move. Aaron has got a long lap penalty. And Jack getting right at the back of Smoyes there. Hulicar and VTR, Finley and Aaron, the only riders to not have trial limit warnings as of yet. And Jack Berman easily passes Schmoyes, but he's 2.8 seconds behind Nelson. So if Jack can move into third, if Nelson can crash, or something happens to Nelson, Jack will just about hold on to second place in the championship by one single point. And Aaron's gone down and he's left. Not the way he wanted to end this season. Hulicar is continuing to extend his lead at the front. 1.5 seconds. So he's just extended it by a tenth this time. As we start the pre-penultimate lap of the race, lap number 7, 1/3 of the race to go. The gap between Jack and Nelson's pretty stagnant, so a big mistake's going to have to come off somebody in this top 3 for Jack to hold on. And VTR now could be set to pass Schmoyes, so VTR could upset the apple cart here in terms of Jack Berman, because, like I say, if Nelson makes a mistake, which he is inclined to do so, because he has done that quite a few times before in the last lap, he'll just throw away a podium. And I think Schmoyes is just letting him through. Yeah, so VTR now 1.5 seconds behind Jack. Will VTR will have the temptation to close in Jack and just apply that pressure to make his life a little bit harder than it needs to be. What Jack really needs is Craig and Nelson to start dicing, or just something to happen between these two, because it's just not going to go that way. But Hulicar out front, he's done the perfect job since taking the lead. He just clicked those laps off. Craig's not had a chance to pass him. And Nelson, he's just stayed at half a second, and he's just unable to break into those three or two attempts to against that slipstream. But Craig's run a bit wide there, and that might be it. Can Nelson start to close in on the Mooney VR46 Ducati rider to form some kind of attack that he hasn't done since the start of this race through turn 1? VTR now less than a second behind Jack, so I think Jack's going to have some trouble on the last lap. But I'm thinking Nelson's surely going to attack Craig if he can. If he gets the opportunity, he's just going to send it. Craig holding off Nelson by half a second. Through turn 7 into turn 8. Nelson's closed in that corner there. He's closed in by about a tenth. You see the difference in lines. Trying to find lap time here and there. But Craig is just doing enough to hold off Nelson. So he goes round the penultimate corner for the penultimate time. And Hulicar rounds the final corner to start the final lap of this race and of MotoGP 23. VTR is all over the back of Jack Berman as well. Jack's going to be praying that Nelson makes some kind of mistake out in front as VTR is closing in, looking for a move up the inside of Jack, but he's going to run wide. So that just gives Jack a little bit of breathing room. Or does it? So they can't find him. Where's VTR going to attack? Maybe into turn 4. Not quite. Into turn 5. Turn 6 is an overtaking opportunity. No. He's got to be the run out of turn 6 into turn 7 and 8. Yeah, here he goes. He's looking up the inside. He's got through on Jack and he's through, but Jack's surely going to fight back if he can. No, he can't. He's actually going to run wide, and that's going to be it for Jack Berman. He is not going to be inside the top 3 of the championship. It looks like it's going to go to the way of Hulicar and then Craig. But Hulicar has done a fantastic job since taking the lead of the race. Just clicked the laps, pulled a couple of attempts a lap. He rounds the final he comes into the final corner And the Colombian Hulicar is going to take his third victory of the season, the final victory of season 12 on MotoGP 23, and snatches second place by 0 points ahead of Craig in second. Nelson takes his first podium in God knows how long. VTR's fourth, Jackson fifth, Schmoyes is sixth, Rolge looks to have got the better of Finley for seventh. So Hulicar takes the win, Craig second, Nelson third, VTR fourth, Jack fifth, Schmoyes sixth, Rolge seventh, and Finley in eighth. So we will do VTR, Craig, and then Nelson, Craig, and then VTR for our Parc Fermé interviews. So first we will go with Nelson. As soon as he unmutes his mic.
Oh. Huh.
So Nelson, you and Craig could not be separated, to say the least. In the sprint, you were just colliding with each other. In the main race at Phillip Island, you were colliding with each other, and then in Valencia, you were staring at him for 9 laps straight. But we'll split up into two. Tell us about the extremely aggressive races of Phillip Island.
Yeah, no, okay, first of all, I want to thank everybody, for participating this season. I think this season has proven to be one of the most, competitive and fastest it has ever been. Congrats to PTR to the championship. Surpasses me as well. But Phillip Island was just straight chaos. Let me just tell you that way. Lap 1, I had bikes left, right, in front, behind. So I was just trying to make up ground, and me and Craig, we go way back with our history, and we go back and forth. We have our things, but I had my aggressive race to make up some time. Knowing the Honda just wasn't on pace on that track. I couldn't make it work at all. So making up some ground, getting some points in the bag was my goal. But got that penalty in the end, and what it is. And I tried my best for this race, and being back on the podium was the goal, and I did that. So hopefully next season better things. But I'm happy.
Yeah, so congratulations. This game hasn't gone the way you wanted it, but you've ended it on some form of high, so well done. So second place in the race, but unfortunately third in the championship by count back is Craig. So Craig, you've had a back and forth season between yourself, Hulicar, and Jack. And how would you describe the season? Unfortunately, losing out on second by 0 points.
It's been a crazy season. Some bad races. Had some good results. It's just been a bit of a hectic one. Has been quite interesting.
And how were the battles with Nelson and Phillip Island?
I just didn't like I just don't think he liked the fact that I was ahead of him. I was being aggressive back, but there was a limit to being aggressive. I've saved some footage, so I'll watch it back, etc. But it was a nice battle. I did do a nice move on him as well. I don't know what. I think it's sector 3 split or 2 if I'm right. Sorry. It was just a crazy race, and it was getting to me the way he was riding. So I was giving it back, and then the last lap got punted off, unfortunately. So I'm lucky to actually have P3. I do have P3 right in the championship.
Yeah, P3, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm lucky to have that due to what obviously happened at Phillip Island. But if Jack didn't obviously have his scuffle on lap 1 today in this race, I think it'd be a different story. So yeah.
Yeah, so congratulations, and we will now move on to our champion. So VTR, a perfect performance in the sprint, victory in the main race at Phillip Island, and then unfortunately a complete disaster at Valencia. But just sum up your season and how today went for yourself.
Today wasn't too bad. You know, my pace around both tracks was pretty insane. These are two of my favourite tracks probably. So, you know, I was expected to do well around these tracks. You know, like I said, my pace was pretty good. I made some good overtakes in both races. The sprint, I didn't have much action, but both main races I had really good pace, and I was really happy with what happened today. You know, in the Valencia race, I got kind of unlucky because my teammate rolled unconventionally, lag crashed on the straight, and I think I lost about 8 seconds. So I think if not for that, then I could have been fighting for the win today in Valencia. But nevertheless, I had a pretty good weekend, you know, and it was very solid. So I'm happy to win my 3rd championship. Congrats to my competitors, you know, they've done well this season. But, you know, we'll go back onto the next game, and obviously a big thank you to you and yourself, Jack Hammer, because turning up every race, week in, week out, and without you, the races wouldn't be on the show. So, yeah, well, thanks to you as well, and well done to all the riders today.
Yeah, thank you, and well done on your 3rd championship, and I'm sure you'll be trying to make it a 4th. In
Hopefully.
season 13.
Yep.
So that's been it for season 12 division of VollGazz, as well as MotoGP 23, and we're back with MotoGP 24 in a month or so. I can't remember it. We just need to confirm a few things, and then yeah, we'll be back soon in June, May, end of May, start of June, hopefully. And yeah, we'll see you guys then. Goodbye.